Listen to the story One Giant Leap now, and we're just going to check your understanding. So make sure you've got a paper and pencil or whiteboard and pen. If you need to pause the video now, go and pause it. You don't need to write big answers, we just need an A, B or C for each one. Here we go. What did Neil Armstrong like to play with when he was young? A. Toy cars, B. Model aeroplanes, or C. Lego? What did he like to play with when he was young? A. Toy cars, B. Model aeroplanes, or C. Lego? Have you got an answer? It was model aeroplanes. Give yourself a tick if you got that right. Number 2. When Neil watched the aeroplanes, their propellers made a sound like an endless thunderclap. What do you think that means? A. A very loud noise that went on and on. B. Complete silence. Or C. A short, loud noise. So the noise is like an endless, without end, thunderclap. Have you heard of that word before? Or part of it? So is it A, really loud and going on and on, B, complete silence, or C, a short, loud noise? It is A, a very loud noise that went on and on. Number 3. How did Neil feel the first time he flew in a plane? A, delighted, B, terrified, or C, sick? How did Neil feel the first time he flew in a plane? A, delighted, B, terrified, or C, sick? Ready? A, delighted, wasn't he? He loved it. Number 4. What was Neil like as a boy? A, noisy, B, shy, or C, funny? What was he like as a boy? A, noisy, B, shy, or C, funny? He was shy, wasn't he? Number 5. Now, do you remember he asked for flying lessons and his mum and dad said yes, and they cost $9 each, and that meant that he had to work for 25 hours just to pay for one lesson. So do you think they were A, expensive, B, cheap, or C, free? Were they A, expensive, B, cheap, or C, free? They were expensive. Imagine having to work 25 hours just to pay for one lesson. That's a lot of money, isn't it? He worked hard though, didn't he, to save all his money up? Number 6. Choose a word which is similar to swoop. In the story, it said that when he was flying his planes in his first lesson, he learnt to swoop. So does that mean climb, like the plane went up? Does it mean stop? Or does it mean dive? Think about what a bird might do. Swoop. Does it mean A, climb, B, stop, or C, dive? It means dive, doesn't it? C. A bird like a seagull might swoop down to the sea to pick up a fish. And that's just what the plane did with Neil Armstrong. He managed to make it swoop, so dive down. Number 7. What happened on his 16th birthday? A. He got his pilot's license to fly planes. B. He got his driving license to drive cars. Or C. He got his motorcycle license. What happened on his 16th birthday? A. He got his pilot's license. B. He got his driving license. Or C. He got his motorcycle license. It was A. He got his pilot's license. Imagine being able to fly a plane at the age of 16. How many astronauts actually landed on the moon? So we know that 3 went into space, but how many landed on the moon? Was it A, 2, B, 3, or C, 4? How many actually landed on the moon? A, 2, B, 3, or C, 4? Here's a bonus question. Can you remember the names of the people that actually landed on the moon? So the answer was 2. 2 people landed on the moon, and the third person stayed in the capsule. So which were the 2 that landed on the moon? Neil and Buzz. Good. And who had to stay in the capsule? Mike. Good. Number 9. Why couldn't Neil land on the moon's surface straight away? There was a problem, wasn't it? Do you remember what the problem was? A, it was too dark. B, there were large boulders in the way. Or C, the onboard computer was broken. Why couldn't Neil land straight away? A, it was too dark. B, there were large boulders in the way. Or C, the onboard computer was broken. Have you got an answer? B, there were large boulders in the way, so he had to find somewhere different, didn't he, to land? And the last one. Why was it scary just before they landed? A, they saw an alien. B, all the lights went out. Or C, they only had seconds of fuels remaining. So they would have had to land really quickly or they would have been stuck. So what was the problem? Why was it scary? A, they saw an alien. B, all the lights went out. Or C, they only had seconds of fuel remaining. It was C, they only had seconds of fuel remaining. Well done. How did you get on? Good job, year 1.